Testing 1, 2, 3. Test, 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 test.
Ooh, new colors today.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, I actually wanted to change it up.
We need to get you a determined t-shirt.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too.
We'll add that to
I
the list
actually
for next
just
time.
I just got out of the shower because I tried to get on the bike when I got home really quick. Ugh,
That was
ripping and
smart.
running. Yeah, this week is gonna be kind of crazy.
Yeah, which week hasn't been crazy?
We'll go ahead and let everybody in here.
Okay.
Hello, sir.
How are you, sir?
Oh man, I'm alive, man. I'm alive. Grab my iPad here. I am alive.
Amen.
Woo!
How's your family?
You're doing well. And yours?
Doing great. Doing great. Yeah.
Good, good, good. Well, we're gonna get started shortly. We'll let people that want to join us. We are recording this message. There's some people that won't be able to join us, so we'll
Okay.
record it and share that after the end of this.
Oh, I see Sister Terry. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Good to see you.
The little one's growing fast, no doubt.
As the midwife said, don't blink. And I did. I did. They are growing very fast.
Yes, indeed.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, Calvin. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing just fine.
Good, good. We're gonna get started shortly. Just want to give people time to join in. I'm not sure. My wife may join us. She may come knocking at my door here in my office to talk about medical. But if not, she'll join us the next meeting. You know, it's funny. I forgot to tell her about the meeting. She's in the house with me. She's like, "Why are you running? What are you doing?" I said, "I got a meeting at 7, the Zoom meeting." I said, "Oh, and if you want to come on and talk about the medical, you can." She's gave me this look, so
It may be next time.
yeah, maybe next time. We're gonna talk a little bit about uh, rider stuff, which will include some medical, but yeah, that look was like, okay, really? You gonna tell me now?
How's the weather in Keene today? Keene area or Burleson area?
Windy. Actually,
Windy.
it's gonna be windy for the next few days.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I was looking at for tomorrow, I was looking at the weather, and it was saying that there was gonna be 20 to 30 mile an hour winds with gusts of 50. I was like, well,
You want to try to ride in that?
no, I'm gonna get on my trainer right here.
That's inside riding weather.
It looks like it's gonna be a swift day again tomorrow. So, and tomorrow, and then Thursday, I probably won't be riding. I'm going to get my second vaccine shot, so I'm anticipating that I'm going to have some little under the weatherness. So take a break, rest on Sunday. I mean, rest on Thursday, and then try to get back on it Friday and then Sunday. All right. Well, we are. Like I said, we're going to be recording this, so those that cannot join us, they can definitely join us, or they can definitely follow it and listen to it later. I'm going to go ahead and yes, Tamara, is that something that you can do actually? Let me see if it comes up. Let's try this one more time. Daryl, how are you doing, sir? Can you hear me, Daryl? Can you hear me, Daryl? I don't think his sound is not connected.
Probably, yeah. He's not muted.
No. Let's see. Oh, here we go. All right, let's see. All right. Yeah, Tamara, I went ahead and started sharing on there. Okay. So if you want to take that link and take it to other places, you can. All right. Well, let's get started. No, I don't want to keep you all night. So let's have a word of prayer. Father in heaven, Lord, we thank you once again for this opportunity to talk about this wonderful bike ride that we have planned in September. And Lord, I thank you for all of those that are on the call, on the video, those that will be listening to it later, those that are watching online. Lord, we just ask that as we talk about this event and continue to pull things together, that you would be with us, give us clarity of thoughts. And Lord, if there are any questions or concerns that we may be able to address them tonight, we pray these things in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Well, for all of you guys that were not on the last meeting that we had, Happy New Year. Because I think that was last year, wasn't it? I think it was last year, before the end of the year. And I wanted to do another meeting. Really wanted to do it in February, right at the end of January, beginning of February. But I did not do the site survey that I had planned on doing because some things came up, and so I wanted to wait because I wanted to be able to share all of that information on this evening. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen here, and let me move this over here and close that out. All right, so let me go ahead and share my screen, and we'll get right on into it. Okay, can you guys see my screen okay?
Yes.
All right. Give me 1 minute. Let me. Okay. All right. So there's a slight delay online. So I want to make sure that got that. Okay. So I'm not sure if you're able to see what's online. What I've got is it's not. All right. Well, I'm going to play around with this and try to multitask in here. All right. So just we're going to kind of go over agenda of items. And these are the things that we're just going to talk about today. And these are, whoa, that was quick. Here we go. So we're going to briefly go overview over last meeting that we had. We'll talk about the dates and the routes, updates. Then we do some cycling information. And then from there, we will be able to and then we'll talk about fundraising updates, and then school following, and then also we'll be talking about seeking sponsorship as well. All right. So by way of cycling information, before I jump into that, before I get into that, just wanted to find out if from our last meeting, and if you had an opportunity to look at the recording, or just in general, do you have any questions at this time? And I know it's kind of early, right in the jump, but you may have some questions. You may have read the websites and things like that. I just want to make sure that we have you covered. And if there's any concerns that you may have, that we can talk about those and kind of address those before we get off this call.
I have a question. My first question would be, as I was talking to the senior pastor, Sister Terry, and you basically know that I am in this transition from the conference to the church. Mm-hmm. It's my first experience as a church pastor. So I have a senior, which is such an amazing guy, but he was asking me, the days you're gonna go on the ride, are you taking out of your vacation? And I asked Pastor Nathan if that counts as a vacation, and I said, no, it doesn't count as a vacation. It is a fundraising. But I said, okay, but let me confirm, because I got the same question last week as I shared to the board that I'm going to start a fundraising this week. And I was looking for a permission from them if I can send letters to all the doctors and members and everybody. And they asked it again, is that a vacation? I was like, I don't think so, because it's a fundraiser. So that's the question. Yeah,
this is a very good question. And we got that approved way in the beginning. No, it is not vacation. It is not your missionary 2 weeks that the conference gives you. This is actually still considered your work. So you don't have to put in vacation. Obviously you have to let your senior pastor know that you're going to be gone. And so, yes, it has been that's already been approved. So you're good to go on that.
Second question is about some doctors, they don't want to donate online. They said, can I send a check to the conference? And I said, I think so. I think you can send a check to the conference and direct to probably you, Dixon. Not the name Dixon, a check, but a check to your office. So
but they can, but but they need to send an additional one as well. So
yeah, no, they just don't want to send just don't want to give online. They want to send a check and say where should I send? I was like, probably Dixon office or the treasurer. So what is the best?
Well, the best thing I'll tell you is to send it to the Texas conference, and in the memo section, just put in there determined cycling tour, and then they'll know what to do with. Now, the thing about it is that if they are donating to, if that's part of your donation, then tell them to put your name down at the bottom with the determined cycling tour. And then that will get to where it needs to go. So yeah, we have ways that they can just mail it in. They don't have to. It doesn't have to be online. Online is just the quickest and most convenient way. But if it's not convenient for them, then by all means, we don't want to burden them down with something that they're not comfortable with. But yes, they can mail it to the conference office. Just make sure that they put in there in the memo determined cycling tour.
Okay.
All right. Any more questions?
Hello, Ken. This is Nelson.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to have to put my registration on hold for a while. I've occurred a medical problem, so
okay.
But I would still like to do it, but I don't want to, take up any donation time right now.
You're not gonna take up any donation time. Matter of fact, there will always be a spot for you, Nelson. So you don't have to worry about that. Even though you were in the Army, we'll still make a spot for you.
Leading the way.
Yes, yes, yes. That's what they all say. But no, man, we'll be praying for your health, man, and don't worry. You don't have to worry about that right now. Just want to also let you know about donations. All donations are tax deductible. And so therefore they don't have to worry about, am I going to get a tax receipt? That's why we say send it to the conference office. Make sure you specify that is going for the cycling tour. All right, so let's go ahead and jump in here, and let's talk about the routes. Okay, so we're gonna, we mentioned this before, cycling information, fundraising minimum, what we talked about is $3,000. The maximum riders that we're wanting to have is 30. Right now we're sitting at about a dozen, 12 riders. And these are riders that have committed, that have gone online and kind of signed up. And just want to let you know that you could go online and sign up, but you don't have to pay anything at that moment. If somebody's giving you a check or something like that, you can actually add that at that time, but you don't have to. And however you want to raise the funds is up to you. We just ask that as you're talking to people and letting them know about the event, if there's anything we could do to help, we also, we can send you a form letter that you kind of put in, your name, kind of some little things about that. But the good thing about the going online and registering is when you register, it gives you a web page that you create and customize for yourself so that you can send that link out to people so they can actually give. We're going to talk about that at the end. And there's also a texting number that's designated just for you. So for me, it is Texas Ride, the number 6 at 71777. So if you wanted to give to me, then that's what you would use. And it would come directly to, my fundraising page. And then on my page, there's my little story about doing this. There's so many different reasons why individuals will do something as crazy as this. But, I do it. My story is there, and you could change and kind of, once you register, put your story in there as well. And now I want to say this also goes for anyone actually that rides, walks virtually as well. You go in there, you register, you put a minimum of how much you want to raise. We're asking all those that are volunteering to be a part of the virtual team. You set a goal of let's say $1,000. You want to raise $1,000, and then you walk towards that goal, or you run towards that goal, you ride toward that goal on your own. And then online you get a page as well, and you customize that page, and then you send that link out. You get a text link. Everything that the official team gets, you get the exact same thing to be able to do it. The only difference is that you have longer to raise money. So in other words, you don't have to do 800 miles in the 2 weeks that we're doing it. You have really up until the end of the year, and really it can go further than that, because this is, as we shared before, this is a this year and next year. And the reason why we're doing 2 years is because we can't hit all of our schools this year because the way they're geographically, set up in the conference. So this year we're going to start in McAllen, and next year we're going to start in Laredo, and we're going to come over and we're going to go in through the San Antonio area. So just think about this, is that, your accounts are going to stay open. So you can continue to fundraise as much as, like, Christmas rolls around, you can ask people to give money, your birthday rolls around, people can give money. You could say, I want to walk. Will you give me $1 for every mile I walk? And we're going to talk about where you log those miles at. And if you were with us before, you'll know that we do that through Strava. Speaking of Strava, the thing I like about Strava is that you create your routes. It's routes that people have ridden before, and they kind of break it down for you. But this is our Strava page, kind of one of the links in there that has the actual route. Okay, so this is the overall route. It says 851 miles, and that's, we always say that's give or take, because I've driven part of the route, ridden part of the route on my bike, but there's some areas that I haven't gotten to yet, and once I get to those areas to confirm that these areas are areas that we can go through safely, then those will be the routes that I'll continue to update in the system here. All right, so let's look at some dates here. So we're going to start in McAllen, Texas on September the 12th at South Texas Adventist Christian Academy. And then we'll arrive in Richardson on the 24th. That afternoon, that Friday afternoon. So it's a 14, really 12 days of riding. Now, as if you're a cyclist and you've been doing this for a minute, when we say 70 to 80 miles, that's a give or take, plus or minus 50 in either direction. So you know that it could change, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that. Hotel stay, double occupancy, COVID protocols will be in place, and that's whatever the protocols are at that time. Some of you may have already been vaccinated. Some of you may at the time. By the time this happens, you may be vaccinated, so those protocols may change for you. Some of you may not get vaccinated, and so therefore those protocols will be a little bit different. But we will continue whatever those protocols are in place at that time. That's what we're going to kind of follow at that time. Meals, obviously, all your meals are taken care of. Your snacks and lunch are probably, your snacks are obviously going to be on the bike. Your lunch is probably going to be something kind of like a hybrid on the bike, depending on when we finish. And we'll talk about that. Support vehicles, we'll have our support vehicles. I'm going to talk a little bit about that because there's some things that we may end up changing when it comes to the groups together. And then our volunteer staff, a nurse, doctor, mechanics, massage therapists, media person, security, drivers, and chefs. Now, I'm still working on the massage therapist or chiropractor. Still working on a mechanic as well. And so I want to say this, that if you know of individuals that would love to volunteer some hours, and they say, well, I can't do 2 weeks. They may say, I'll give you a day here, I'll give you a day there. We're willing to work with anyone. I do have some people that I've worked with in the past. I haven't reached out to them as of yet, because one of the things I want to make sure is that I don't have more support people than I have riders. That can kind of defeat the purpose of what we want to do. So we want to make sure that we have that. All right. So here's the route. Yes, sir.
Yeah. I just want to make a point. I have to send you an email that I'm going to be coming from Florida. I lived in Houston for 28 years, so it'd be nice for me to come back and visit. But it just makes it easier for me to just drive to McAllen and have my wife follow with the caravan. Then we're going to go on and do some other things. So I'm sure she may be willing to do some volunteer things as well.
Well, you make sure you ask her first, because
I will. She's going to be driving.
I don't want you getting in trouble now.
Okay.
So
but I do want to later let me know what the additional cost for me to stay with her meals and things like that.
Yeah, and I do apologize. I did get your email. I was meant to respond to it. But I was hoping actually you'd be on this call.
Yeah, that's
as
all right.
well.
We got plenty of time. That's fine.
Yeah, I'll definitely get that to you. All right. So here are the days. Day one, you see it's 75 miles. Now we're going to talk about these miles. Okay. So you're looking at day one is 75 miles, and then day two is only 37 miles. And you're probably like, wow, 37 miles is not a lot. And the reason why we did this is because this is 2 weeks, and the first day, everybody is excited. Everybody's adrenaline is pumping. Everybody's yeah. And then the next day, you may not feel that same way, because we don't know which way the prevailing winds will be going. Typically, they come from the south to the north, but sometimes when you ride at that time of the year, it's reversed. So, but I know down in that area, it can be a little windy. So what I will say to you is that the reason why there's 37 miles on that next day is because when you get down to South Texas, and Tony, you know this, you get down to South Texas, there's not very many, towns between. So you got to make do when you get to it. So, 37 miles may not seem like a lot, but we don't know how people are going to feel, and we don't know what the wind is going to be doing. Day 3 is 44 miles. It starts to build up. And then when we get to day 4, you see 119 miles, and you're probably like, oh my goodness, that's like crazy.
That's a lot. Boy.
Well, I need to let you know that this whole first week is flat. I mean, it's pretty flat.
Okay.
If we go back, when we look at the gradient, and what I've done is, if you go to the determined page and you see the routes, I actually have broken out the first 7-day routes all the way till we get to Georgetown in Texas. That's really the first week. So those routes are already in there. And I encourage you, if you have a computer, go ahead and download those apps. Download them to your computer. But if you have a bike computer, before we start on the route, get the updated route. Get the updated route. You know, we want you to have that in your device. If you have the ability to add it, go ahead and add it, because we don't want people to not know, because mentally, when you're riding and you see on your map that your next turn is 10 miles, it does something for you mentally. It says, you know, okay, I can do this in 10 miles. But if you don't know and you keep asking me, you know, when do we turn? You know, I'm going to tell you, we're going to turn in like 80 miles, and you're not going to be happy with me. So it's better to just go ahead and download it if you can, if your computer on your bike allows you to do that. Now, when we get to Corpus Christi to Victoria, it's not going to be 119 miles, because when we're in Corpus Christi, when we arrive in Corpus Christi on day 3, and we go to the school there, that afternoon we go to our hotel. When we wake up in the morning on day 4, we're going to actually have to get in vehicles and drive over the coast, over the little inlet, to the other side of Corpus Christi, because they don't allow you to ride over that. And when you see it, you're going to be like, oh yeah, I'm glad we're taking the vehicles and going around it. And so we'll probably be picking it up, and it'll probably be more or less about 80 miles, something like that. And then we'll get to Victoria. We head north and go straight into Victoria. And there's some beautiful areas. I've driven this area. All of these routes I've driven right here, and it's really nice. You know, you go along the coast a little bit, and then we kind of go inland, and then we go shoot up straight north when we get to towards Victoria. Day 5, 83 miles. We'll get to Victoria. Victoria to Eagle Lake is 83 miles, and that's what we're gonna do, and it's straight east. But then we will actually, when we get to Eagle Lake, I really tried. I tried to find some hotels in Eagle Lake. This is not gonna work. That's just not gonna work. So we're not gonna stay in Eagle Lake. They did have some motels, but I don't do motels. So just to let you know, I don't. And there's the ones that I saw, not even the ones that I saw when I drove, and the ones that I saw when I looked online. I don't think we won't stay there. So we're going to load up and drive into Rosenberg. So that's actually going to be it's going to be 44-mile drive into Rosenberg. And then once we get into Rosenberg, we will go to the hotels there. And then day 6, we wake up, and then we ride from Rosenberg to Houston Adventist Academy. Now, I've actually rode this route with a group in Houston. Some of our guys that ride in Houston rode with them on one Sunday. It's a great route, straight north. We cut a little bit east, and then we go straight north again. It's a pretty good route. We didn't have any issues. We even had a vehicle with us there in that time, and so it was great. We had a tailwind, and so we rolled right on in there. Now we get to the second week. This is the one this part these 3 days I'm still working on, because we have day 7. We come from Cyprus to Elgin, and it's 114 miles. But I don't know if we're going to do that full 114 miles. When I drive it, I'm going to determine if we're going to do a whole 114 miles. I don't think we will, only because this area is kind of funny, and that's why I'm saying it, because if you look at day 8, it's 20 miles. Right. And the reason why, there's a place in between that we could go between Cyprus and Elgin. There's another place in between there that would still give us another 50 miles into Georgetown on the following day, or about 70 miles. But I didn't, when I spoke with the people there, it seems like in that area, I don't know what it is, but their hotel prices were just way too high. And to be in the middle of nowhere and to have these prices, I was like, I just didn't feel comfortable with that. So we may have to load up, but we can make that determination. But nevertheless, if we happen to do 114 miles on day 7, day 8 is sort of like a rest day. It's 20 miles to Stonehill Academy, which means that we don't have to start at 8 o'clock in the morning. We can really kind of start like at 10 o'clock, get a little rest in 10 o'clock and roll into Elgin. There's another option where we can actually not do 114 miles, but do like 80 miles, drive to the hotel. And then from Elgin, we can ride south towards Austin to one of our schools, which is about 50 miles. And then we can go back up north, which is another 40 miles. So it would be like a 90-mile day stopping at one school and then going back. But I don't know if you want to do that either. So that's a part that we're gonna talk a little bit more about. And I'm reluctant to say what we're going to do until I actually get in a car and drive it, because we may get out there and I may see a hotel that works out great and we can split that difference and we'll be good to go on that. But day 9, you see that is Georgetown to Killeen. And that's when we get to this point, I think it's about day 8, part of day 8 and 9 is when we start getting into the hills. So this is not really like the full hill country. It's like the foothill country. So it's like there's still hills. They're rolling hills. So this is where we start doing a little bit more climbing. So there's 73 miles from Killeen to Waco. Day 11 is 64 miles from Waco to Cleburne. And then from there, it's 12 mile. Day 12 is 72 miles from Cleburne to Richardson. And when we get to Cleburne, we're actually going to Keene, to Keene Church, and we're going to have several schools that will join us there. The Joshua School, the Keene School, the CTA, or actually, I think we're going to go to CTA, outside CTA. But nevertheless, a lot of schools are going to join us, and we're going to have a little rally outside with food and all of that good stuff. And so that's the last day. It will be that 72 miles where we were riding into Richardson. And what we're going to do is, and I'm still kind of debating on it because there's several routes we can go, but we're going to probably come from Cleburne. And if you're familiar with this area, you can really ride straight up 67 all the way into Cedar Hill. And then from Cedar Hill, you can cut through some back roads and get up to really to get into the Dallas area. And then from the downtown Dallas area, you could jump on White Rock Lake Trail, take that all the way up to Richardson, and that trail actually drops us off 5 miles from the school, and from there we can pick up and ride in. Now, one of the things that I'm hoping to do is, and I'll be sending out letters to the municipalities and the police departments to let them know that we'll be coming through that area, and also request a courtesy escort. And this is for all of the areas we go through, and some we may get and some we may not get. But that's the goal. Any questions about this part?
Let me ask you, Ken, are you going to have a Strava route for each day that we can just download?
Yes. Yeah, here it is right here. So the route segments, they're on there. And like I said, if you use this link, and we could send you this.
No, I have it. I downloaded the entire link, which is 900 miles. But
yeah,
yeah, but see that. Okay.
No, I just did this one 2 days ago. I just broke it out for the first 7 days. Yeah, so this is going to be new. So if you go back in there, you'll see day 1, and I have the date, day 2, and the date. Okay. So we got that for you. And I'm going to work on the last part of it. And once again, if you download it now, it may change. So you may want to wait. Too. Yeah. So once I drive it,
once to make you appreciate having the route, man.
Yeah. All righty. That's so let me show you. Can you guys see that? Can you guys see the routes?
Yes.
Okay. So
it's not small.
It is small.
Well, that's all right. We'll get it.
Yeah.
We can look it up. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's there. It's there.
Okay. No problem, Ken. We still got 6 months, man. So.
It goes quick. I'm telling you. It goes quick. All right. So kits. All right. So we have
nice, man.
We have if you didn't make the first round of kits, don't worry. We'll have a second round. So these have been ordered. And I'm gonna just kind of show you. This is the front of it. And if you see from the side here, there's this logo in white. This logo right here is in white. And then on the back of it, we've got all of the names of our schools. And then actually, and then on the side here, it's Texas Adventist Education, the TAE. And then on the back here, there is, this is the front of it. And on the leg, it has the logo, Texas Adventist Education. And there is a website, and it goes at the bottom, I believe, of the jersey part of it. So the website is on there. Now, the next round, hopefully and prayerfully, the next round of jerseys it'll look a little bit different. It will not have the schools so big. It'll actually have sponsors. So that's what we're working on to get our sponsors. And your help is greatly appreciated, because if you know someone or know someone has a business and they would love to sponsor, we would love to add them, and we can definitely share with them different levels that they can give and how that would look, and what they would actually get. And actually, if we get a nice corporate sponsor, they actually, depending on how much they give, they can actually have 2 riders that would be connected to that sponsorship, that would be covered in that. So just think about some companies, small businesses. They don't have to be huge. Any size works. Any size helps. And so that's what the next round of jerseys, hopefully we'll have the sponsorships on them. All right. Riding conditions. So once again, moderate to difficult. This is not necessarily an easy ride. Flat in the beginning and hills in the second week, average grade 3 to 7. I'm going to say, what happened? Okay. Thing just decided to want to have a mind of its own. I'm going to say that, I think it's going to flip again. I'm going to say that it's probably going to be a little bit higher grade in some of those areas, especially in that hill country area. Okay, good. Okay. I'll just tell you. So if you happen to abandon, we do have an abandon clause. So if you happen to abandon the ride, in other words, you can't do it, or you decide that you want to abandon the ride, then what we ask is that obviously we can't get you back to where you need to go immediately. But if you're willing to join part of the team, or whatever the case would be, the support team, that's welcome. And then once we get to a place where we can get you back, then we'll do that. The other thing is that the speed that we're going, I always tell people that when you're riding with a group, you will always go 2 to 3, 4 miles faster than you would normally go, because people are pulling. But what we want to make sure is that you're in the top. Your fitness is at the top of his game, where that you can be. So if you can manage 15 miles an hour by yourself, on a 30, 40 mile bike ride by yourself, you are fine. If you're averaging 10 miles, there's some work that you need to do. So you, at this point in your training, and really, but before we get to like May, you want to be putting in at least, before it gets too hot, you want to get in as many miles in a week as possible. On average, if you're doing 100 miles a week at this point in your training, you're good. But before it's all said and done, you really need to be getting that mile an hour up. And those miles, those time in the saddle. So if you're putting, when it's all said and done, when we get to September and you're doing 150 miles, 200 miles a week, you're in really top shape, ready for this. But you don't cheat yourself. Okay, you don't want to do that. You don't want to cheat yourself, but you want to challenge yourself. Okay, so there are days like even today, I was on my stationary bike when I got home from work. And I did 20 miles, and I was like, man, this sucks. I hate riding this thing on the inside. But I know that in order for me to get my 100 miles in this week, I know that the way my schedule is, I have to at least get on the trainer at least once or twice a week. So you gotta push yourself through this, because what we don't want to happen is we don't want you to get out there and realize that, oh my goodness, I got to do this for the next 12 days. I want you to get out there and say, I can do this for the next 12 days. I may not want to, but I can. So we want to make sure that you do that. So I have these two groups here, and depending on, we tried to use groups before, and for those. For Nelson and Daryl, they know that this experience kind of went, it kind of went different ways. So in one group, there was, a group that was not as fast as another group, but then nobody wants to be in the slower group, so they jumped in the faster group. And that became kind of one of these things like, oh my goodness, I don't want to be in that group. I want to be in the faster group. And then when the faster group is going, it's like, why you're going so fast? So what we want to do is, naturally these kind of events allow for two separate groups if it happens that way. Okay. So we're not saying that we're not going to, but we need to make sure that we have vehicle coverage in front and back for if there is a group. Now, there's not going to be 14 groups. Okay. That's not going to happen. Okay. So there at the most, there'll probably only be two groups. And that's a group that may go 15 to 16 mile an hour period. And then maybe a group that goes 17, 19. These are just examples that I'm saying. So, but in the groups, this is what we want. If we're going into a headwind and we're fighting it and we're, just grinding and suffering, we're going to probably be going 15, 16 miles an hour in a headwind trading off. But if we're in a tailwind, in flat, we should be going 17 to 20, 25 miles an hour. And you probably say, oh my goodness, that's fast. When you're in a group and you have a tailwind, you're going to feel like you're in the Tour de France. So we just want you to be mindful of that if we have to break into two groups, don't think that, this is some kind of punishment. It is not. It is not a punishment. We want to make sure that your fitness allows for you to stay in a group, and your safety is the most important thing for us when it comes to this event. All right. Any questions? All right, good. Everybody's ready to hit 20 miles an hour. All right. So this is just a process to participate, to be a part of the official team. And when you go to the Determined website, you're able to see all of the groups that you can join, the virtual, the walk, run, or ride, or the official team. And like I said, we're going to cap it off at 30 people. We're not gonna go past 30 people. And I think that if we're at 12 right now, anything that we get from this point forward is great. It's great. But our goal is to keep going north with the numbers until we get to 12. All right.
Hey, Ken, so you've already ordered your jerseys, I guess, for those that pay. Are we going to get any of that before the ride, or do we wait till the ride gets here?
No, what's going to happen is the next round of jerseys we will probably order when we get more people registered. Mm-hmm. But if we don't get any people registered, we don't really have it's not really because of COVID, they don't do a big minimums anymore. So we can get smaller minimums, but we have to remember that the next round, that's the one thing that we don't cover. We don't cover jerseys.
I'm just asking, will we get them before the ride if we've already paid for them, or do we wait until September to get to receive them?
No, when we open back up the store per se, you'll get them beforehand. Okay. When we open it back up, so let's say we open it back up next month, we'll put it out there for a couple of weeks and people can order it, and then it'll be about 3 to 4 weeks, and we'll send it to you. Right, because we want you to ride now with it on.
Yeah, as kind of I'd like to ride with it on. Yeah, to have promoted, sure.
Yeah, absolutely, and we want you to do that. So we'll probably open it back up again in we're in March right now, so we'll probably open it back up again in either April or May, depending on how I know we have one other person that has, sent me a text saying he's gotten sponsored and he wants to ride. And I think there's, some more people that are going to join us. And I count that right now there are probably about 6 people who have not registered. So you think about that, that's 18 people right there.
Okay.
6 people that have not yet registered. And so we just need to kind of push them. And then we have some people that are going to join us on certain days. So it may be a little bit more. So the question comes in is that full registration package, you get everything, and that's with the registration, not registration, the fundraising minimum of 3,000. And then if you say, I want to do a week, there's a cost for that because we still have to pay for hotel, things like that. And there's still a fundraising minimum as well. And then 3 days, and then 2 days, and then 1 day. That's if you just want to ride, because we still have to cover insurance, meals, snacks, and support as for the ride. And we may throw in something like this in all of these levels. Our goal is to have some T-shirts to provide, and it's my job to make sure that all the riders have that nice little goodie bag of things, so that when they start, some cool. Some cool stuff that they can have. And actually, one of the things that I'm working on is, and this is not going to be in your package, so I'm sorry, I cannot offer you this one. But it's a bike cover, a full bike cover. If you put your bike on the back of your car, it's a full bike cover. It's really nice. I'm working with a company out of, I think they're New Zealand or something like that, and we just been going back and forth. They gave us a nice little design, but we asked them to add one more thing. And if it works out, I'll get one. You guys can see it if you guys want to order it. We would have already paid the design costs, and you could just order one and we'll ship it to you. But those are something like that is something that you would get. But for the other things, we're going to try to have a goodie bag with some things for you at the start of the event. All right. We already talked about fundraising initiative, minimums, what we want you to do, and then half if you want to do 6 days. And those initiatives and we're going to try to offer some incentives for top fundraisers. Now, when I say that is, if you raise a minimum of 3,000, we don't want you to stop, because our goal is 1.5 million. And this event is not going to do it by itself. We have multiple things that are going to be happening, but we still need you to, if once you get to that 3,000 mark, hey, continue to ask people, say, hey, I'm doing this ride. Would you be willing to give $5? Hey, I did a little video about, hey, don't buy a coffee or don't buy a donut. Donate, for a child, because every little bit counts. When I mean every little bit, I mean seriously, every little bit counts. So whatever you can do, and whoever start hitting them up, and it always works. It's for the kids, put a tear in your eye, something like that. They'll love it. All right. So here's a texting service that we have for you guys. So someone wants to give, they would send a text to 71777, and they'll put in there, Texas Ride, and it'll be your number. So you'll put Texas Ride, 6, 5, whatever your number is. And then they'll get a link, and they'll click on that link, and the next graphic they'll see is this, and they can make a donation. Good thing I love about this is that you have people in your, you could be sitting, getting your car washed, and you're sitting, say, hey, let me just send this out to some people in my contact list, and just send it to them. But first, make sure they know who you are, and also hopefully it's someone you've talked to them. In this decade, don't send somebody you haven't talked to me in 40 years, and now you want money from me. So, whatever your once you set up your page, you'll have access to this, and you can create it, add little pictures of yourself, and I think you can add videos as well. So that's the texting part of it. Now, here's the other thing. We have school following for kudos and fan support. Now, I sent out a list to you guys on what schools that I kind of assigned you to. Those schools are still the same, except for Kim, your school has changed. And I'll get with you and let you know what your school is. And the reason why is because I had you at Houston Adventist Academy, but Houston Adventist Academy has a cyclist that's going to be that they want it represented, because he used to pastor in this conference, and he was connected with Houston Adventist Academy, and so he wanted to ride for them. Which I was like, hey, more the merrier. So we have 23 schools, so I'm gonna assign you to another school, and I think I found the school. And when I was talking to the superintendent, she was like, "Yeah, I think that'll be a good fit." So I'll let you know what that is, and I can't remember what it is right now, so that's why I was trying to filibuster in my head, but I can't remember. So I'm going to give it the superintendent, and I'm going to shoot you an email and connect. Now, so what does this mean, school follow? If you go to our YouTube page, you'll see that there's some videos that I've created for the school that I follow. Or that's going to follow me, and then I'm going to send out message to you. And this is every time you go out for a ride, just stop for a second in a nice area. Give a shout out to your school. Like for me, it's Stonehill. Like I say, hey, Stonehill, parents, teachers, church, pastor. Hey, just want to let you know, you guys are great. You guys are awesome. Just, do that. And then I also threw out some things like some math questions. How long would it take a cyclist going 17 miles an hour to do 100 miles with taking 4 breaks? And so that's their math part of it. Then I do a little history. I said, when it was February Black History Month, I said, hey, can you tell me who one of the famous African American cyclists? And I gave a clue. I said, and he wasn't a captain. And so, those kind of things, every ride you go, just record something short, no more than a minute, sending out, encouraging words and things like that. And do a little research on your school. You may want to send a message to the principal. And don't worry, the schools know, they just don't know that you're the one. So they're going to find out, like we have school board meeting Thursday. Next week, Tuesday. And so I'm going to do a presentation, and I'm going to talk to them about that and let them know that, your school, your cyclist for your school is boom. And they're going to be reaching out to you. So feel free to start making your videos. You don't have to put a date on them. So like I did one for Black History, but obviously you don't have to do like for a certain month. You can do whatever you want. Just send kudos out to them. Like I said, I did mine for Stonehill. I probably have about 4 or 5 videos, and then I have like 6 that I haven't finished editing yet. But it's just, you're letting them know that, that you're supporting them, and they'll be able to follow you on Strava. So you'll send them your link. Hey, follow my link, see my training. And then you could do some funny and cool stuff, because if this year, if your school is part of the ones that we're going to be stopping at, then that's going to be like, that's your prime moment. But if your school is coming to that school, you could still give a shout out and meet the students and teachers and things like that. So we're just trying to make this fun and enjoyable for everyone, because our event kicks off next year for their event, whatever they're planning to do in 2021 and 2022. They may want to do a fundraiser, a 5K or something like that at their school. They want to do something in the community to raise money and fundraise. And so our event is going to kind of kick off their event. All right.
Is this Texas Conference schools only, Ken?
Unfortunately, yes. Yes, it is. Well, fortunately and unfortunately. And I thought about this, and somebody did ask me a question about this, can they do this for other schools, other private schools? And I said, I was tempted to say yes, but then I said, you know what? I can't, because they didn't think of it. So, and I'm doing all the work. So, I mean, our team here is doing all the work, and we're like, no. See, now we may be able to do something, like they may do a ride there. We could kind of partner, but nah.
I get it, Ken.
Yeah, I can't.
I was on the school board of another Adventist academy, but I understand.
Yeah. I mean, if you want them to come and join us, hey.
I guess if they got enough money, you can find a way, huh?
Yeah, yeah, we'll make something happen.
Okay.
But we want to get more sponsors. So once again, I need to let you guys know that Tamara and I are pretty much the ones that are like putting all this together on top of everything else that we do. which is a lot. And anything that you can do, any ideas, any support, any individuals that you know of that that are cyclists that may want to be a part of this event. I mean, you are the energy that motivates us to do what we do, but you are also the energy that kind of that synergy that connects with other people, because we can't do it all. On top of all the communication and public relations stuff that we do for the conference, we're doing this major event, and then I still have to train. And so it's like, man, there are days that I'm just like, wow, I got to do some letters. So whatever you can do to bring recognition or support to not only Adventist education, and this is just not Texas Adventist education, this is just Adventist education in general, and whatever you can do to spotlight health, do it. Because ultimately somebody's going to ask the question, man, how can I be a part of this? And you can say, hey, we're doing a ride. And they may say, I would love to do it. And it's just those kind of simple conversations that happen. And most of you are on this call, and from our last call, you're on here because you heard that we're doing something and you were a part of it before, or you want to be a part of it in the future, or you're like, this is your first time doing something like this. Or you love Adventist education, you love children, or you just love education, you love health, you love to be here. Whatever the reason or motivation, use that to connect with other people, so that as this thing starts to roll, and as the weather starts to get warmer and people start getting outside, they're going to be like, hey, you know what? I don't have any races this year. I need to do something. I got all this pent up energy. And you say, hey, I got something you could do. All right, love to do it. I don't have any money, but hey, you could ask 10 people to give you $50, 100 people to give you this. It's that kind of stuff. But we need your help. In other words, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying we need your help. All right. So for our virtual people, same thing. Synergy. There's so many walkers. People just go for a walk every single day, every morning. Turn those steps into dollars for young people. That's key right there. If you just hey, I walk every single day with the same group. So if you could tell that group, hey guys, why don't we ask 2 people to give us $1 for every mile we walk, or 50 cents for every mile we walk. As simple as that. So virtually, we're asking people to do that. And then not only that, but we're asking people virtually to recruit other people virtually. They don't even have to be in the same city, town, whatever. Join us and create a team. You can call whatever team you want. Or you can go to the website and you can join a school that's in your area. You could join their team and say, hey, I want to walk for you. I want to walk and be a part of your team and be a part of fundraising for your goal. All right. So those are the for our virtue, we didn't want to leave anyone out, because we know everybody can't ride or don't want to ride 800 miles. And there are days I wake up, I'm like, what was I thinking? But I'm too deep into it now, because it seems like every week when I want to get out of it, something new happens. Tamara shares something with me, or the superintendent says, there's another school that's so excited, or a school will say we raised $1,000. And I'm like, man, oh, well, I guess I got to do it. But it's, we do it because we love young people. We love Adventist education. We love health. And we want to be examples. And that's why we do what we do. All right, just a little recap for those that are going to be virtually, and also those that are going to be part of the team. Join our club, our Strava club. And the good thing about Strava is a free app. You don't have to pay anything for it unless you want the fancy features. But it will record your walking, your running, your riding, and even your swimming. So you can put all of those miles and all of those hours and turn them into dollars for young people. All right. Here's information for me. Questions. If you have any of those questions, you can send them to us. Any questions now? But these are all of the links how to participate. And like I said, we're going to make this slide available, and it's actually recorded, so you can go back and look at it. So at this time, any questions? You guys excited?
Sure.
Yeah, I can tell.
Just got to keep writing, man.
Y'all
I have a
don't look
question.
yeah, go ahead.
How do we sign up on the page to change like pictures on the or how it works? I sent the email, and I don't know if there is someone helping you with the email, but how do we sign up and change things there?
Good question. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing this screen. And let's see, let's minimize this. And where does this go to? If I could pull the right one. And start sharing this screen. Well, let me make sure I'm in the right thing. Okay. All right, let's see. I'm gonna go to your page, Tony. All right, so let me share this screen. All right, you guys see the screen there? All right, good. Okay, so you were able to change your picture here because I see you have a bear chasing you on the bike. So when you go down here at the bottom, this is your login right here. So I'm actually logged in as the administrator, so I'm actually can get in here and make changes. But when you get into the the team part of it, actually I would have to go out. I'm sorry, on the back end here, and let me go to me. Um, so on the back end is when you log in on the back end, you're actually able to make changes. I think we shared it instructions on how to make the changes and stuff, if I'm not mistaken. Um, what on earth is this thing doing? Okay. If not, we'll send out that link again on how you can customize your page. It's pretty straightforward because once you log into it, you'll be able to you kind of see on the back end of this, and you'll be able to change your narrative here. And the best way I can describe this is that if I go here over to the side, here it is right here. This is how you change it. Um, so when you log in, you have the ability to edit that part of it, and then it'll look something like this. And this is where you will add your text. I've added my Strava feed, so people actually I don't have to add this to it. It automatically has an embed code that's embedded in there, and so it automatically accepts what I'm doing there. So once you do that, um, there is an edit button at the bottom. Thank you, Tamara. At the bottom of your page, it's at their page, right? On the bottom of their page, yes. There's an edit button. You hit that, but you have to be logged in. You hit that, and then you can make your change. It'll look like this. You better change this to whatever you like. Do you see it, Tony?
I'm on the page here, but I just don't see it log in and log out when I.
Did you get a login initially?
I don't think so. It was in the first meeting, or that you
No,
guys
you
discussed that?
when you actually signed up, when you went to the link and signed up, it would have given you a login that you would have actually. So when you clicked on the determine, let me go to the determine. Oh, let's try to spell that right. Okay. All right. So when you go here. All right, so let's just say you're here. So when you click on here, read more of the official team, and you go to hit here, register. All right, you'll get this. Okay, so whatever message, once you hit submit, check your email. Once you check your email, that's going to give you information on how to come back in here and on the back end and make the changes to your page, like adding your about you, your photos, and things like that. So I would say check your email for mobile cause and see where that confirmation went to.
Okay, thank you.
All right, no problem. Any other questions?
Ken,
Yes, sir.
do you have to have Garmin or a computer by computer to actually download the route on, or can you do it through the Strava app?
You can do it through the Strava app. Yeah, you can do it through the Strava app. So if you're using your phone as your navigation, you just click on a link in the Strava app for the segment, and it'll say something like, "Do you want to start riding?" And you can ride it.
Okay, and you can do that on the free app? Or does it have to be a?
You should be able to do it in the free app. I don't know the limitations that it will have. I mean, if you want to pay for the app, it's like $50 a year. That's a subscription, and that'll give all the bells and whistles. But I believe you can, because it's just really a link, and it's just a turn-by-turn link. Now, if you do it on your phone, the one of the drawbacks is that it will drain your battery on your phone.
Yeah, it sure will.
It'll drain it. So, and it doesn't have to be a Garmin. It could be any app that has any computer that will take navigation turn by turn. But if you don't have it, don't worry about it. I mean, just follow Nelson.
All right.
Any other questions? All right. Well, once again, we're still looking for more riders. So if you know of any, please let them know. Have them give them a call. Visit our website. Sign up. Once again, when you sign up, you don't have to pay anything. You just have to agree that you're going to fundraise. So you can let them know that. Oh, they say, well, I don't have any money right now. Don't worry about it. They can fundraise as they go along. If there are no other questions, like I said, we're saving this recording, and we can send a link out when it's done. It'll actually probably be on YouTube. We'll send you a link, and then we'll also send out the slides for you to review. And check out the Strava page. Continue to ride. Don't stop. And for those of you guys that are in the Dallas area, we meet up on Sunday mornings at 9:00. There's a group called Fellowship Ride. We meet up at 9:00 at the Mar-a-Lagos, one of the pool houses, HOA pool houses, and they have a pretty good ride. And as the weather is starting to get warmer, there are gonna be more and more people out there. But we rode all year. So Sunday is a good time to come out. They have different levels of experience. So if you're just trying to get back into it, come on out and ride with us. We'd love to have you. 9:00, and there's like I say, if you follow their page, Fellowship Ride, they actually post their rides every Sunday. And for me, I ride Fridays, Sundays, try to get a ride in during the week also. And then get on the trainer. So if you're ever in the Midlothian area, you want to ride, just let me know, and we can definitely go out. All right. Well, if there are no other questions, let's have a word of prayer, and then we'll go ahead and close.
Can I just share one thing?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's just for the last 16 years, I was on canvassing program, Youth Rush and selling books, and so I really pray for divine appointments, big donations. And well, I was in the church last week, And I was praying, Lord, I need to buy the bicycle. I'm going to the gym right now because I gave my Orbea for the mission trip to Colombia. So they sold and bought a ticket for a student. So I was like, Lord, I need a bicycle. I need a bicycle. This is my budget. As I told you, you know, I had a budget. And I was like, so this guy came to the church, to the board meeting, and then, oh, how are you? I was like, oh, good. How are you? Good. You know, my name is, you know, Samuel Sanchez. I was like, oh, nice to meet you. And I heard you doing this stuff, going from here to the, you know, cycling. I was like, yeah, I'm doing that. It's very challenging, right? I was like, yeah. So how is everything going? I was like, well, right now I'm going to the gym because I don't have the budget right now yet to buy the bicycle I need. And then he said, oh, go to buy the bicycle and give me the receipt.
Woo!
I was like,
what's his name? What's his name?
And so I was like, what do you mean? It's like, how much is your budget? It was like, well, I was thinking about buying a used one, a good one, you know, 1,300. It's like, oh, so you need something around 2,500? I was like, yeah, that's what I need. And then he said, just go there and here's my card and give me the copy of your receipt, and I will see if I can reimburse everything, but for sure I will reimburse you know, at least half. I was like, man, what a divine appointment. That's Canvases, like Canvases. What a divine appointment.
Well, praise the Lord.
Man.
So,
see, it's stories like this that make me upset, because when I'm just ready to quit and not ride, he comes with these kind of stories like, all right, Lord, we got to ride. Thank you, Tony, for that, man.
Yeah, just some miracles so we can finish the meeting with this divine appointment. Right?
Amen. Thank you. Thank you for that, Tony. Let's pray. Let's pray. Father in heaven, Lord, our hearts are joy to hear the story that Tony shares with us, Lord. What a divine appointment. And what, you know, you take care of your children, Lord. When they decide to step out, he sold his bike for a student to go on a mission trip. And Lord, you blessed him tenfold. And so, Lord, we are so grateful that you care for us in this way. And now, Lord, you know that we have this enormous task in front of us. And there are days when we wake up and we feel frustrated, not knowing how or what to do. But Lord, you know, you already have worked it out. And so, Lord, just like you have given Tony this divine appointment, Lord, I pray that each and every one of us, and even those that will listen to this later, those that want to ride, those that have a desire, Lord, that some way, somehow we can reach our goal and provide quality education and health program and health mentorship to our young people, not only here in Texas, Lord, but let the influence spread far and wide. Lord, I pray that you would be with all the households represented. Watch over them, keep them safe, Lord. Be with them when they're training and they're riding, Lord. Put a hedge around them, protect them. Thank you for all that you do for us. We pray these things in your name. Amen.
Amen.
All right, everyone. You guys have a wonderful evening, and thank you for joining us this evening.
All right. Thanks.
Blessings.
All right now.